especially to Professor Mata. I would like to thanks to the organizing committee and all our friends in Latin America for inviting me for the International Regional Congress of the ILIRA Americas and based in Bogota, Colombia. The topic that we are looking at now is actually about the new generation of integrated employment responding to the crisis and promoting inclusive and sustainable development. I believe this is a very new area of research on labor and industrial relation. Okay, after the crisis, COVID-19, we can see the landscape of employment and landscape of industrial relation already changed due to the factor of transformation of workplace new dimension due to the some demand from the sustainable development goals and also inclusive all the employment procedures and the law. What I'm saying, looking at the worldwide trend now, so things actually already changed in terms of the COVID-19. The new generation in the workforce expecting some changes to be taking place. So whole world now actually moving towards from the traditional employment, full-time employment, going to the part-time employment. So we can see that flexibility working arrangement already happened many years back in the past, but of course after the COVID-19, many companies all over the world actually start to introducing like flexible working arrangement, like working from home. So many companies now, I think, allow the employees work from home, and also sometimes they have to work in the office. So there will be a dual working time. So they work at home, but the one, I think, depending on the nature of the industry certain industry they need to work at the workplace. Okay, that maybe manufacturing, but service industry like in the in the auto industry or education, in fact even hotels, hoteliers, if they do marketing, they can do to the home. So that expecting of the new generation. Another issue we can see that gig economy. So a lot of young people today, they move from traditional working arrangement, they are moving to gig economy. So gig economy, they consider informal workers because they are not have employer like what we see in the traditional employment. So they are actually fully controlled by the application. Like in Malaysia, we call Grab. Okay, we got a food industry, Food Panda, and many even Uber worldwide. They are using a system, the application to allow the people work independently. So today you can see that not only the young one, but even the older generation are already working for a long time. They feel like they want to be more flexible and they want to stay at home due to their health problem and so on. Maybe they want to less supervision, less control. So they want to go to control versus flexible. So these are the new trend of the young generation. But however, the question is how to inclusive them within the framework of labor law. So that's the first question to be asked in this section. And how to bring them, sustain them in the development process of any country. So we have to address to the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. So one of the goal is a decent work. So do you think that gig economy is a decent work? That question we must answer. And I believe this is a trend, is growing around the world. So not only in Malaysia, even Latin America, you can see it's actually the same trend going around. So even the school leavers, some study indicated even in Malaysia, the student after complete the high school, they are reluctant to go to university because they feel that after 4 years they come back, they're unemployed. So what they do, they are going to the gig economy. So they start earn money. But again, the fundamental issue of the gig economy is, are they protected by the law? That's another issue. But I think no. Many countries, I think, still struggling to put them within to inclusive them within the traditional employment, whether they protect or not. So that I think another issue that we have to consider now, what's happening in the worldwide lah. So I believe all the labor expert, labor policy makers, even the people in the HR field, so they might be think about what going to happen next 5 or 10 years. So in this context, I just give some example what's happening in the Malaysian employment system, or Malaysian employment what they call some of the initiative taken by government, so that to address post-COVID situation. So one of the area that our Malaysian government actually looking at is actually how to make the adjustment in the employment act or legislation, the important one 1955. So as for Latin American scholars, participants, maybe you don't aware that our law already enacted in 1955. So when you look at the 2023, after post-COVID, they already make a lot of changes due to the address to the new generation. And then first, maybe for example, in the new law that already enacted in 1st January 23 is a maternity and pregnancy leave. So in the past only 60 days, now they increase to 98 days. This only applies to the private sector. The law that I discussed now is only applied to private sectors, employers and employees. So that give female employees to have a time for them to recover from the maternity leave and come back to work again. So that will be issue. So there's no way terminate by employer if they are pregnant and so on. Okay. So the next one, a new act also introduced to fathers. So father can take 7 days immediately the baby born. They can go up to 5 birth. So 7 days immediately. They don't need to go to work. They just inform the employers that they already the wife already delivered baby. The next one, actually, we're talking about working hours to address to the the demand from SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. So we reduce our working time from 48 to 45 days, and I think many countries also doing this, and many developed nations also doing that, so that they give more time for workers to rest at home. Probably they work only 5 days, 2 days they can stay with their family, and they need rest so that they can have a better quality of life in terms of the health and so on. So that will be another things, and also flexible working arrangement. That's another issue, because we may see that a lot of people like to work from home, but there's something should be done on the law. So the Malaysian government already amended the law, so they can work in different location and different places like that. So this, I think, very important in the city area like Kuala Lumpur, like Buenos Aires or Sao Paulo, which is, I think, traffic jam is very heavy, and people have to work for in the morning, and they create a lot of mental problems. So they can work in the flexible hours and also the company also provide them space for them to work. So this we call AI, artificial intelligence. So they can work in different ways, and of course the medical leave, and and more important, discrimination. Also, we are also emphasize on that. There's no discriminate under the race or religion or status. So that's another issue that employer to oblige to the law, and also employees to apply the law. So, but most important also, I think, look at the sexual harassment, also another issue. So you look at all these amendment they made in Malaysian Employment Act, actually is to give room to the new generation, what they want actually. So for my last 25 years in my doing the research in HR, I found that, in fact, I have a lot of discussion with the HR directors. They also found that it's difficult to manage the young generation, so they have to make some changes. So that's what the government intervened in the labor law, and they come up with a new solution base. So I believe our friends in Latin America also can learn something what I've done in our Malaysian context. So the act actually is a piece of act that will cover between employer and employees, but when you apply the law, you make sure that people should be happy, and then we develop a quality of working environment, a productive and also harmony working environment in the workplace. So the law actually to what do you call try to balance up between employer needs and employee needs. So that's why we seriously think that this law, the new amendments, based the old one, to address the new generation in the workforce after the post-COVID-19. So not only Malaysia, even many countries are doing this. So we are looking at the two employment emerging now at the workplace. One is called gig economy, which is more flexible. Another one is traditional employment. So traditional employment, less and less people are reluctant to go on traditional employment because they have to work long hours, they have to work under the stress, and maybe the demand is there and full supervision by the employers. Where at gig economy, more flexible working hours, they got more time with the family, they can arrange their job, like example like Grab, so they can have their own car, they will drive by themselves, maybe they can send their children to school and then they come back, they have to cook. And so women also going to this, a lot of women also participate in the gig economy so that they can work 2-3 hours, and but the issue is the inclusiveness within the traditional employment. That's another issue. So I think this is a worldwide issue, global issue, that I think ILO and maybe World Bank, maybe ILIRA can also taken seriously on this, so that they can see the new employment era for next 10 or 15 years. But one thing I would like to make conclusion: AI, artificial intelligence, already growing. So a lot of technology already in place and slowly taken by AI, and you can see that the influence of AI there. But however, the human touch always must be there. So I like advice to the employer: human is human. AI is AI. Robot cannot be compared to human. Human got feelings. Human got sense of belonging. Human have full of religious background. So they have to tackle by in right way. So if the government didn't look at this matter, I believe there will be a lot of problems we're going to face. So we as a scholar in the area of industrial relations, we need to address this issue from the national to the international level, and also we hope there will be more changes will happen in the workplace so that our working environment go towards more in harmonious rather than confrontational. So the union must also change. Union also must address the issue. So when you talk about new generation, are they willing to accept union? Recently, we conducted a research among the perception of the young people towards union. The results show that 95% of the young people doesn't know the role of the union, doesn't know the existence of the union, doesn't know what union doing. They are actually very much to have union in their life. So that research, actually national research funded by the Ministry of Human Resources, and we found that something that union should do. So union, employer, and also the government as a tripartitism. Of course, the NGOs, the academician should sit down and discuss what we want the future employment. So my conclusion is, we as a citizen of the world, regardless where we are, even Latin America or North America or anywhere in Asia, we all have to work as one big family, because we are the title of our title is actually we are employee and we employer. So this employer is very important in the new economy, and especially to address 4.0 IR industrial revolution that it will taking place so on and on. So there will be more stress, mental stress, that we need to consider also. And people feel like blur on their future of life, whether their job is protected or not. Everything should be discussed from today onward. So I really thanks to ILIRA, Americas, that you address the current issue, very important issue, so that many scholars will discuss, debate for the future thing. So once again, I like to thanks to Prof. Martha, who is my good friend, and also all my Latin American friends. I've been to Latin America for last last my visit is 1999. So in Lima, and also I like to thanks to late Professor Luis Aparicio, who is the president of the ILIDA in the past, and also other friends. So we hope we can work together in the future. So thank you very much once again to our friends in Latin America.